All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HK8 Year. Next up on the docket is something some of you might not have heard of, actually. This is Pale Court 100% new game, and you'll already notice something's different about the title screen. I am Sawayoshi, the runner and lead Japanese translator for Pale Court, and I have a friend on couch commentary as well here today. Krasan, if you want to introduce yourself to chat.
Hello, I'm Croissant. I was the lead playtester on Pelcourt.
Woo! We have dev commentary. This is this is the only time outside of like rando and rando adjacent categories where we will ever get dev commentary in HKX here. All right, let's get going. We'll be starting from a fresh file, as we always do. And yeah, let's get to it. So, we are doing okay. Okay. I need to calm down. Pale Court. Hollow Knight, y'all know Hollow Knight, right? It's a Metroidvania released in 2017, celebrating its 8th anniversary this year. And now we're running a thing called Pale Court. Krasan, if you want to talk a little bit about Pale Court and what that entails.
Sure, it's a mod with completely custom assets and music and everything that adds a couple new boss fights of the 5 Great Knights from the lore of Hallownest to the game, spread throughout Hallownest, and a couple new charms and one secret new area.
It's got quite a bit of content for just being a fan-made mod, and it's really, really cool. If you haven't played Pale Court, go play it right now. If you have you've all heard of Lumafly. Lumafly mod installer, get that, and you can install it through there. It's really fun. And again, it is fan made. That does not mean it's low quality by any means. But again, it has all custom assets, custom art, custom move sets for the bosses, custom music, custom dialogue. It's just really, really cool, and I'm glad to have been able to help work on the mod. It's a really cool project that I got to help with translation for, which is really nice too. You'll notice we're getting some geo. This is an early Crossroads tag category. We will need to be getting that, meaning we need 14 geo from Aspid Arena. The early game, as it is in a lot of runs, is mostly same-ish. Get VS, get dash, get claw, all skills into city, and whatnot. 51 is fine. We have these cycles to make. Yeah. Pale Court. Croissant, if you want to elaborate a little bit. So you do playtesting for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When slash like how did you join the team for Pale Court? That's something I've been curious about.
I joined in 2023, in about June, about exactly 1 year before the mod came out. The way I joined is way before I joined Pelcourt. There was in the Hollow Knight modding server, there was just a random like playtester role that I gave to myself to get pinged whenever someone wanted to playtest something, and I didn't expect anything from it. And then one day I saw that there was a ping for it from Zaliant for playtesters for Pale Court, and I went, no way, seriously? And joined pretty immediately.
Amazing. Yeah, join modding server's pretty cool, by the way. some stuff is cooking there. But yeah, by the way, we do actually fight False Knight in this run. Here's a couple of reasons. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits take damage. If we get a rock, we can save 0.3-ish seconds. But it is very, very rare that we actually get a rock in the right place. Yep. Get heal. And of course, we can use all our soul because Vengeful Spirit, if you did not know, actually, when you pick up Vengeful Spirit, it gives you back all of your soul. It will top you up, as do all of the white spells. You'll see that later on with Dive as well. But yeah, do this fight. We get City Crest, and then we get the Geo in this Geo chest. The most important part of this is City Crest. The Geo is also important. City Crest gives us more routing into city. It also, and this is, I don't know if this was changed, but at least in prior versions, and maybe in the current version as well of Pale Court, it is required for one of the boss fights. So, we do need to actually do False Knight and get City Crest for that. Alright. And now we get Vengeful Spirit, we get topped up on soul like I said, and it is time for Mound. You all know Mound. You all know what's at the end of Mound. We have some RNG. We have some RNG here. Yeah. I do see in chat plenty of people talking about commentary and stuff. Plenty of people talking about Silksong and how this could have been Silksong. This is Silksong if it actually came out. Hey. I would say cut back on the Silksong jokes, but also this mod literally makes a Silksong joke in the credits, so. Alright, RNG time, Baldur. Let's see what the RNG is like today. Ooh, 1, nice, thank you. And an extra.
Oh, awesome.
We do not need the extra. We do pick up Soul Catcher because we'll be going quite a long while without Shaman. Okay, so of course we sit on the bench, but on Soul Catcher 2 notches, we have 3. No issue there. And believe it or not, we will not be overcharming for any of this run. It would probably be slightly faster, but it's also scary overcharming in a couple of parts before we get Shaman. So, oop. I could have gone that aggressor, that's fine. Hopefully we get enough soul otherwise. Okay, there we go. And we have more RNG. Let's see if we get what we get here for this boulder. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. 3 is not terrible. It's not great, it's not terrible. Of course, Baldur's being a 50-50, getting it on the third spit or later is a 25% chance. And into Green Path. And of course, this run is very samey for the early parts. You've seen this. We go into Green Path, we go through, we do the fireball skips, and we get dash. So while we're doing that, Croissant, you mentioned this mod came out in 2023. How long was it actually in dev before that actually came out?
Yeah, it started dev in 2020 in March, so about 3.5 years-ish.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty long time.
Although most of the development happened within the last year.
Mm-hmm. I did hear of that. This mod has come a long way. Like, though I did join very late in the development cycle as a translator. I joined after its release, actually. So if I can talk about that real quick. Don't fall down there. That loses time. So this mod, if you notice, we were playing in Japanese. I translated this, and See if we can get this double here. Very nice. I joined after it released in July, July/August of 2023. I was actually in a player's chat, and they were playing through Pale Court, and I was like, "Oh, this mod looks really cool. Does it have Japanese?" Oh yeah, we're skipping Zote. Goodbye, Zote. I asked, "Does it have Japanese?" And they said no. And then a certain little Zaliant showed up in chat, was like, "No, but it could." It could if you wanted to help. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then we did some vetting things and some management things, and then I started helping with the mod, and now it has Japanese. I helped. I did that with one other translator, who I put out a call for translators, and Place B was nice enough to be like, "Hey, I would love to help," and we did a pretty good job translating it, I think. That is the Hornet fight done, by the way. We're getting Dash, and this is a modded category, and because it is a modded category, we have a little thing that we can do here, where we can just bench warp. We have bench warp set to warp only, as we do for a plethora of different modded categories. For rando things, of course, you have it set to any bench that you've been at, everything except for unlock all. For modded categories like this, or for example, like Kronk percent, you have it usually set to warp only. It's just a little bit nicer than having to quit out to the main menu. You should, chat says, you should ask Team Cherry if Silksong has Japanese. First off, we're sitting on this bench. Second off, I actually have contact with the translator for Hollow Knight, and he is also working on Silksong, I've heard. Alright, go down into Fungal, and we're gonna go left here and actually get this Charm Notch. Whoop. 1, 2, 1, there we go. We pick up this Charm Notch, and that gives us a full heal. We don't have to actually worry about Geo. Or not Geo, health. And we go down into Fungal. Now this is a... Pale Core is only available on the latest version on Steam, the latest stable release on Steam, which is 1.5.78. I believe 11827. If I remember that correctly. I don't think I've read that out in full in over a year. Which means a couple strats are going to be different from the Steel Soul run, the any percent Steel Soul run that we just saw, and a lot of other runs. For example, Epogo here. Whoop. We can actually get that real quick. Give me a sec. There we go. There we go. Nice. I can try this fine. Right, and we do Mantis Pogo. Mantis Pogo is mostly the same. And then we get Claw. Boop, boop. Pogo there, Pogo there. Very nice. And we get Mantis Claw. Now, we do get Claw, but we do have one more little detour in this run, routing-wise, before we actually get to the next part of this run. We do have one thing that is hard required for Pale Core 100%, and that is where we're going to be heading to right now. We're going to head to the right side of Mantis Village, and if you know a Mantis Village, you probably know exactly what we're going for. It is something that we don't usually get in any runs that aren't completion runs, because it's just a little bit, it's just that tiny bit slower than having some other charm to work with. But for Pale Core, it is required. We are going to pick up Dash Master and instantly equip it. This is why we took the Charm Notch earlier, to prevent overcharming here, not because it's scary, but because it loses time. And now we have a little bit faster dash and the ability to dash downwards. And from here, we're gonna head into City, using the City Crest. this is going to become important later. We will be coming back to the city gate at close to the very end of the run. We have some Pale Court content close to here. Do this. Get this movement. That was a tight dash. 1, 2. Alright, we're good. Use the city crest. And we get into city. So city routing, again, is mostly similar to other categories, specifically 1xx categories. We will be picking up the seal and then heading up into Sanctum. We don't really do much there except for get dive, but getting dive is also important. I do want to mention with this run, there is a reason it is in Japanese and not Chinese. At the current moment, I believe Hollow Knight Pale Court is not available in Chinese yet. It is only available in of the CJK languages. I think only Japanese. There is a Korean translation in the works, so keep an eye out on that. Chinese is a little bit farther off, I believe. We're gonna sell this Hollow Seal of Lem, and then climb up. But yeah, because Japanese is the only supported language and anything else gets replaced with English text, it is the fastest language for Pale Court. Which is I think it's really funny, and it's also really cool because I get to read the text that I worked on while I'm running. And I think that's just kind of cool. I get to be like, oh my gosh, I wrote this. Oop, there we go. Go through DLC rooms, hit the lever, hit both levers, one to open the gate and one to get the elevator up. And now we head into Sanctum. Do we get the RNG double? Do we get the RNG double? We don't get the RNG double, we didn't even get a chance. Pick up the Geo, and into Sanctum we go. I see in chat, will we see Insta-Wings this one? Oh, you bet you bet you'll see Insta-Wings this run. There's gonna be so many Insta-Wings going on. It's actually not too many because there's not really much movement. There's quite a bit of movement after wings. We'll see plenty of Insta-Wings. Unfortunately, no hand cam to see how that works, but there we go. Got 200 Geo here. We do have a big wall in terms of Geo coming up pretty soon. We have to get a stag, we have to get Shaman Stone, and we have to get Elegant Key. So we have quite a few things that we need to go shopping for, and those are coming up pretty soon, and we need a lump sum of Geo to get through that. Alright, and into Soul Master. Of course, we have to do the thing. 1, 2. There we go. Get a little safe. 6, 7, 8. And one more hit should be enough to stagger. Why do you always warp away on the staggers? Please just stay in one place. I think it would be really cool if you stayed in one place on the staggers. I think that would be really helpful. Just my opinion. Ah! Okay, we have enough soul for heal. We'll take a heal here. Alright, and this does not give us full soul, unfortunately. We're into phase 2. And you know the Dash Master phase 2. I've done a fair share of 1xx runs. Off the wall. As always. Just a fireball, that's fine. There we go. And that is Soul Master done, and we get dive. Pay attention to the top left. We just healed our soul away. And as soon as we pick up this dive and land, we'll actually get all our soul back, which I think is really cool. And there we go. Dive is going to give us access to a few things. Most importantly, it gives us peaks, crystal peak access, and that's what we are here for. While we're here, again, we need a lump sum of geo, so we're gonna get a little bit more. We have 380 from this chest right here. If we get all of it, we have 375. Just plenty. See if we can't get this fake dive here. Nice. We climb up, and then we go back to storerooms, actually, to get the stag there and go back to Crossroads. Again, very reminiscent of 112, 1xx, or all skills routing. Right. We do have, by the way, I just wanted to remind you all, this is a Pale Court run. We do have plenty of things Pale Court in the back half, as in the back half is almost entirely Pale Court content. But the front half of the run is prepped for that. So just hang in there. We got an hour and a half to go. I see in chat question, is 100% including vanilla 100% or just 100%ing the mod itself? This is Pale Court 100%. We do not really care about the completion for the base game, only for full completion of the Pale Court content. So we do not need to get 112, for example. That would boost the run up a couple hours, if I were to guess. A little bit longer. And also, I enjoy the low equipment shenanigans that we have going on here. Okay, so this is a little bit of interesting routing. We're gonna take the stag to Crossroads. We're gonna take the stag from storerooms to Crossroads. We're gonna sit on the bench, and we're gonna sack to Dirtmouth. Climb up, please. Hit the lever. And boop, 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 boop. And we talk to Tiso. Hello, Tiso. And we go back to our bench, and we say hi to Tiso again. This is required for Pale Court 100%, and you will see why very near the end of the run. We actually do have to talk to Tiso in all 4 locations. Right. And again, we just got dive. We're gonna take it into peak and use it to get in. We have enough for 1 dive, I think. Yeah, and then some interesting routing decisions. Again, this run has some very, very questionable routing. It's just what I've found to be the fastest. All right, we're gonna go down here. And we're gonna sit on the bench. Gonna sit on the bench. This is not something that this is not routing that you really see in other runs, but because things like all skills have to hold the city bench, we do not have to hold any benches here. And the next bench that we sit on is after we leave peak. And it is simply faster to sit on that bench and warp down there than it is to go from, spoilers, we're gonna go to the dark room, from C- to the dark room. It is just faster to warp back. And that's why we have this specific routing that you don't see in any other category. Right. We do get this key. We get the shopkeeper key. Shopkeeper's key, which gives us access again to the elegant key, which we kind of need for this run. But that is the only thing we'll be buying from Sly. And you know what that means. We have some dark rooms. One of them coming up pretty soon here, but before that we have to do a little bit of a menu drop into the C- room. Dash Master Strats. plenty of health to do a damage tank here. And I am sorry, all of you believers, with Dashmaster, it is fast. It is simply faster to do overplat. Sorry to disappoint. And now we pick up C-Dash, and again we have Bench Warp to make a couple of these quote-unquote quit-outs a little bit faster. There we go. And now that we're here, this is some pretty quick movement to get up into here. And Dark Room. Not really too bad if you know all skills, but it can be a little bit scary regardless. Oop, there we go. There. I see many people in chat upset about the overflat. I'm sorry, it is just the truth. Into Crystallized Mound, we have one thing, and one thing in particular that we want here, and we all know what it is. Alright, let's see if we can get up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where are you? Please. There we go. Up here. Thank you. You did not get up. Okay, that's fine. Lured the entire Crystal Hunter up just for them to barely not get over that ledge. All good. We do pick up a Descending Dark. Why are you dying to bosses? Simply Descending Dark, and that is very, very sound advice that we will be taking this run. Alright. And now that we're here, we get Dream Nail, which is also required for this run. Okay, there's a bit of a lull in content here. Quick question: do you think, Croissant, if you can answer this, do you think there's anything that speedrunners have know about this mod or have found about this mod that playtesters didn't? I'm just very curious.
I have no idea.
Because I have to think playtesters kind of play it very thoroughly.
Is there anything that you found out about this mod that you think wouldn't be common knowledge?
I think there's one thing, the infinite soul totems in the Abyssal Temple. None of you are going to understand what this is unless you've played Pale Court. Some of them sometimes aren't infinite, and I might have figured out why that is. But that's about it. What else is there? There's some boss interactions that I found, but also those have probably already been found. So I'm not entirely sure. Now that we're here, by the way, we get the stag, we're gonna sit on this bench, and then we take our soul that we have and head down here. Into the crypts, and we instantly leave. There is one reason, and one reason only, that we are here and instantly leave. There is a little thing to the left of here called Blue Lake, and we have some business with Blue Lake. We have some business with one specific NPC that shows up in Blue Lake. Hi, Tiso. That's 3 of 4. We do have to get that questline again to the very end. And we're gonna go into Bluebra's hut and buy ourselves a Shaman Stone. Again, this is one of our big geo deposits, one of our big, the biggest geo threshold that we have to meet in this run. Pop the Sly, and we're gonna go buy E-Key. Actually, wait, yeah. It is just better to have Dashmaster on here still. Forgot about that. And And then from here, we're gonna go back down and do some, if you know any routing for true ending, very similar routing to that, where we're gonna go through Right Side City to get a couple things. I did see a question in chat, Croissant, this one's to you. Are there any things playtesters have found that no one knows about yet? That no one has really found or discovered? Oop,
not to my knowledge.
Like no broken charm combinations or anything?
No, I think the community has gone pretty thorough with all the charm testing. There was one guy who was very passionate about the charms and uploaded like a whole series of videos completely debunking them,
or just like explaining everything, all the interactions that they have, any good synergies and whatnot.
Yeah, and I do believe the other devs all like assisted in giving him information of that, so all very found in public by now.
Most of the stuff in this game that has been found is just public information at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, routing wise, going back to the speed run, we did get the stag there. We do need that later on. And we do need to buy that here because we don't really get a good chance to buy it again before we actually do have to use the stag. Alright, and again, this is very true ending routing. We're gonna go in here, we are gonna sit on the bench, put on Shaman Stone, and now we have a little thing called Shaman Stone D-Dark. Shaman D-Dark is pretty strong, if you can't tell. We don't need the Geo, right? I don't think we need the Geo. And now that we have that, hit this lever, go up here, and go this way. A couple questions from chat that I see. Is there anything the playtesters know that you don't know about? That is a very good question, because I don't know what I don't know. I'd have to assume I'm only one person. I have to assume there's something. But and then another question as well. Is there anything Croissant knows about that even he doesn't know about? That's the question for you. Is there anything that you know about that you do not know about?
I don't know what I don't know.
Good answer. All right. Going into Sanctum once again, we do have to do this Soul Warrior fight. Unfortunately, this is not 1-2-1. We do not have the ability to skip the fight, but it does give us a hefty sum of Geo to use later on. And with D-Dark, this is not an issue at all. Right. Get this. Okay. And now we have Shade Soul to work with. We have a lot of damage to work with, and this is all the damage that we will have for the rest of this run. We will not be picking up any nail upgrades. Again, we won't be picking up Wraiths or Shriek. We do have... I lied, by the way. We actually have one final charm that we get much later on that will be very, very useful for damage. Alright. Go up here. We have one shot of soul, so we can open this. And hopefully this Watcher Knights fight is going to be a little bit better than the scary ones that we saw in the last run. We have D-Dark, we have Shade Soul. This should be fine. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Get it on the tail. Again, something D-Dark. There we go. One more. we do need a little bit more damage there. There we go. That's good enough. And that is Watch and Ice done. And if we're doing Watch and Ice, that does mean, yes, we are going to need the Dreamers in this run. Which is odd, because you'd think, what do you need the Dreamers for? There is one specific thing, and if anyone in chat can, can figure out why we need all 3 Dreamers, I will pick up the Hollownest seal down here, even though we usually don't. I did see an interesting question in chat that has absolutely nothing to do with the game. What is the best kind of croissant? If you want to give your opinion on that, as Mr. Croissant here.
I would have to go with a chocolate croissant.
A very good choice. The croissants are just good in general. There's good options. One thing that I will admit is somewhat of a guilty pleasure to me is store-bought kind of. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have to go back to the main menu because we white screen. Not a big deal. We do have a little thing in where I live called these little store-bought cheapish croissants. And they're not bad, but they're kind of a guilty pleasure to me, I feel like.
Someone in chat did get the reason, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I did see that. Yes, we did. It is for White Defender. Which, believe it or not, actually requires all 3 Dreamers. Alright, so...
Really odd thing, I've always thought.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess it does keep you from... It does get you from doing the fight too early, because it is a pretty, somewhat early mid-game fight. Or, Dung Defenders, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. One guilty pleasure for me is store-bought croissants and, like, tomato sauce spaghetti. And then what you do is you take the croissants. They're not airy or anything. They're, in terms of croissants, kind of dense. What you do is you take one, you split it in half, and then put butter on the middle, and then put tomato sauce, the spaghetti sauce on it. That was just bad RNG. And I will admit that is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. It's not good croissants, but it's really tasty croissants. And now we are into Basin. We're gonna stick with the true ending routing for a little bit longer. Gonna go get wings here. Taz says to the croissant question, they thought you were gonna say yourself.
No. Dang. Sorry, much prefer chocolate croissants.
Yeah, chocolate croissants are really good. Okay. That sounds kind of good. It's pretty good. It's just somewhat of a guilty pleasure because it's not quite like quality croissants. It's just croissant. It's store-bought cheap croissants with pasta sauce and butter. Again, it's not bad. It's actually really, really good. It's just not a great croissant. It's not a quality croissant, but it's good though. All right, Transdash. There we go. Get up here. And we have, of course, this fight against Broken Vessel. And we have D-Dark. D-Dark and Broken Vessel is kind of like a... I almost said hammer and chisel. That's not right. That's just incorrect. It's like a hydraulic press. Except the hydraulic press is pressing down like every few seconds. There we go. A little bit scary, but not worried at all. There we go. We're going to go get wings. We don't actually need to come back because this run does not need essence. We only need the wings here. All right. Now that we have that, bench warp back, we're gonna keep this charm on for a little while longer. And now we have wings! And chat, Yo mentioned this earlier. We have wings, and I have wings. You know what that means? It is Insta-Wings time. We're gonna have...
What is Insta Wings?
Oh yeah, so Insta-Wings, for people that do not know, it is a move-in trick that was once said to be TAS only. But basically you have to press jump twice within a span of 4 frames, or roughly 0.08 seconds. So you have to press it, let go, and press it again. And how I do this is I have jump down to spacebar, and I just use both of my thumbs. So I press and like kind of slide with one thumb, and then press with the other. And it's a little bit faster if you can get nail instas, nail swing insta wings, but they're not really required, and those are more TAS only. I don't really know of anyone that does it past ILs, but they make the movement a little bit more fun, I think. Right. Go to the right, and go into the Hornet 2 fight. We have 4 health, and we have 4 health, Shaman Stone, D-Dark, Shade Soul, and not really a dream. This shouldn't be too bad. Sometimes this fight can be a little bit annoying. Okay, that's fine. Oh. 3, 4. Stagger count of 7. So we have to do 7 hits in combo. There we go. No. There, yeah. That double is going to do it. Hornet. 07 to you. Hope you have a game that coming out soon within the next, I don't know, 50 eons. I think that would be nice. Alright, that gives us Kingsbrand, and Kingsbrand, of course, is going to be used to get into the Abyss, and that is where we're going to be heading next, after a little bit of a detour. Again, we do have one more thing that we need to do in Edge before we get to go down to Abyss. And when we get down to Abyss, that is where we will see our first Pale Court custom content. So get ready for that. We have about 5 minutes left before that. Before we get to that, we have a little bit of climbing up through here to do. Get a quick insta-wing in there. Ow. Not a big deal. Climb up. This is a C-dash, and we're gonna head up towards Coliseum, and we're actually gonna go to the Coliseum of Fools. We have one thing that we need to do here, and if you're astute enough, you'll be able to guess, even if you haven't played this mod. But if you have, you probably know what's coming up. We have a little character down in here that we have to talk to, and his name, yes, it is no other than Tiso. This is the last time we will be speaking to Tiso. Tiso is going to die. The flag for Tiso is as soon as we enter any single Coliseum trial, as soon as we enter, that is when the flag is set. So we pay the geo, we pay the fee, C-in and warp out. And now we put on our charm. We'll swap off to Dashmaster for one specific section of this here. And now we head back over to King Station and to the Stag to go down to the Abyss. Now, I did say we won't be speaking to Tiso again. We will be seeing him again, though. One little thing. Before we do that, though, we do have to take the Stag down to back to Hidden Station. We're gonna go down here. Okay. Now there isn't really much to talk about here. It's just your normal Abyss stuff. With Pale Court, what other if you know, what other future plans are there for this mod? Now that it's been released for a year and a half, is there anything coming down the pipeline, or is it kind of just done at this point? Ow.
We do have the one main thing we've been meaning to push out is Drya having a stagger, which has been in the works for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Also some music updates. I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Team was pretty burnt out once the mod released.
Yeah, understandably so. It's a lot of content, especially for something that's just volunteer fan-made work. It is very much a passion project.
For sure.
And being burnt out on that is very much understandable. I did hear something, however, about, again, Korean. If that's coming soon. I'm not entirely sure on that, but... Whoop.
I believe so, yeah. I don't pay too much attention to the translation stuff, but I know there is more languages in the works.
I see.
Chinese is in the works, right?
I believe so. Both Korean and Chinese are in the works, to say. Okay. We have some custom content to talk about. Break the ceiling here, and we are into a little thing the devs like to call the Abyssal Temple.
Woo! Content!
Content! We're actually getting to cool stuff now. So this is a platforming area, very much inspired by the Path of Pain. And Path of Pain is my favorite area in the base game, so I think this area is pretty cool. I think it's pretty fun. There's definitely differing opinions on that, but I enjoy it.
Oh, for sure. I
There you
love
go.
this area.
It's fun. If you want to talk a little bit about how it came to be.
Yeah, so we had we didn't know where to put the last charm, and someone suggested a platforming area, but the mod was set to release in a week.
Oh.
Then we all thought, no, there's no way we have time for that. And then River just apparently found time for it, and made this very quickly, and it
Very quickly.
somehow came out pretty
That's
well.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it, and it has these vertical shade gates that you don't see in the base game anywhere, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it was a cool idea.
Yeah, and this is exactly why we need Shade Cloak, not Shade Cloak, a Dash Master, because without it we are not able to dash through those horizontal shade gates. And yeah, You did see at the very end, like Rasan said, we did have a charm there called Abyssal Bloom, which is a little cool charm. Unfortunately, we do not get to use it. It is a charm that is 5 notches, much like Kingsoul, but much more useful. I'm sorry, Kingsoul, you're just not that good. Abyssal Bloom is a very, very useful 5 and very, very powerful 5-notch charm. There's a reason it is 5 notches. If you want to talk a little bit more about what it actually does.
Oh yeah, so it's certainly worth its cost. It gives you, it's a damage multiplier, it gives you more damage with each mask that you lose, and then when you get down to a certain amount of masks, you shoot out a very long void tendril, like the pure vessel.
It's fun to mess around.
A lot of
with.
range.
It's a lot of range.
Yeah.
It's a lot of range. It's really cool, and I really wish we could show it off, but unfortunately, we just do not have the notches to do so in this run. It'd be really cool though. Maybe if we have some time left over at the end, we can just real quick do a full equipment showcase of like
That'd be cool.
the end content. Maybe. At Nerf. At Nerf. Would that be fun? I think it would be pretty. Oh, we got the overlay. All right. I forgot. There's one thing that I do need to do. That I always forget to do. We do not actually go straight down to Umu. We have one little detour that we have to make. Okay. We have one little detour down over this way. We do have to say hi to a certain Moloch that may or may not be brooding. There is a question in chat asking, with Abyssal Bloom, is it on reaching a certain number of masks left or upon taking a certain amount of damage? It's an interesting question. I don't know if you have the answer to that.
I don't remember when the tendril activates. It might be when you're down to 1 mask.
Yeah, the tendrils, I believe, from what I've seen of it, only activate at 1 mask, but you do get a blacker nail.
Right.
At lower HP. I think it is based on remaining masks and not total masks lost.
Yes.
That's just what I've found from messing around with the minimal amount of messing around I've done with it. Also, Trinomi drop. Okay. Oh.
Actually, no, it is based on total amount of masks lost.
Oh, it is? Alright.
Yeah, that's why when you pair it with Joni's, you get a lot of damage if you get down to 1 mask, and the whip will activate at any mask amount with Joni's.
Alright. And again, we're now into... That core was after me. We're into archives. We say hello to our favorite jellyfish. Our favorite shining jellyfish. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See if we can't get this 1 cycle here. No, that's fine. Not a big deal. We'll get the 2 cycle. Whoop. Okay. Back up here, and we get an extra. Of course we do. This is a marathon run. Why wouldn't we get the bad RNG? Right? Ow. There we go. That's the fight done. Not really an issue. Just a quick extra cycle. Alright. Down here. We'll be gaining back this time anyways, much later in the run. We have plenty of time save. And now we say hi to Monomon, and we pick up Monomon, our second of 3 dreamers. And now that we're here and we have a little bit of a break, I'm going to drink water. I've been talking for 55 minutes straight, and I'm kind of in need of some hydration. Give me a quick second. All right, I have an announcement to make. I am out of water. I have drunken my water, and I am now out of water, which is somewhat unfortunate because we still have a good half hour of run left. See those insta-wings there. Again, once known to be a TAS-only trick. Plenty of people do it in runs now. Some people use nail instas in ILs. And now we have a little funny thing that you don't really see. We have to do QGA. High equipment QGA is not really something that you see very often, but hey, it's fine. Usually we have either ISMAs or a reason to pick up wraiths at this point. This time we have neither. Therefore it is just fastest to do QGA. Oop. Down here. Quick cling. Then C-dash into here. This arena a little bit more annoying than on 1221 because the Etros take 2 Shade Souls instead of 1, but still not an issue, and we have enough soul to do 1 nail cancel and then 2 Shade Souls to take them out. Ow. Don't jump into the spikes. I think that's a little bit unhealthy, I think. If I do say so myself. Menu drop. And we do have a little bit of a detour to make. We're not going straight over to Hera like you would expect. We have a little bit of we have a little bit of Queen's Gardens to go through. Queen's Garden, we have a little bit of a detour. One quick thing that we have to do, I'll keep that charm on. There goes one of my headphones. Oh no. I do not hear anything in my left ear anymore. Oops. A little bit disorienting, but it'll be fine. Ow. Hopefully. Alright, that is the arena done. As long as we have 250 geo here, we will have enough money for our final expense, and you can kind of imagine what the final expense is going to be from that. But before that, we have one quick thing to do. There we go. We do have to hit this lever. This will make our lives so much easier later on in the run. In roughly about 15 minutes, you'll see why we hit that lever. I mean, you can kind of guess why we hit that lever, but... Oh yeah, we have dark rooms, by the way. Give me a quick second to kind of focus up and make sure that I'm getting through here. Okay. Climb up here. Insta-wings. Insta-wings in the dark. Like it's no one's business. There we go. Not an issue. Even without hearing anything in my left ear, dark rooms are not a problem. Okay. I'm up this way. Whoop. And we get Hera. Not saying that Nerf said that village stag was 265. You know, that's somewhat unfortunate because that's incorrect. That is somewhat, if my memory isn't failing me, I believe 265 is somewhat inaccurate. But hey, not a big issue. We have enough geo anyways. We have 330. We have geo to spare. All right. And now that we have the 3 dreamers, we have one place to go, and that is down. We are already at the bottom of the world. I don't know what I mean by down. We're not gonna go quite as down as you'd expect. But we're gonna go kinda down, I like to think. Right. Get the stag for 332 geo. And then we take the stag back to the city storerooms. We have a couple things to do here. First off, we have to sit out on this bench and put our charms back on. Our trusty old shaman stone back in our setup for 3 notches of 4. And you see that empty notch, that's gonna get filled in roughly 5 minutes. Right. Over this way. Slightly faster, I believe, than just going through the arena. This lever, go down. And we do have to go to the waterways. This is why we picked up so many keys earlier on in the run. We have 2 keys to work with. We have one that we're going to be using here, and then one that we're going to be using farther down. Again, we're going to be going down into waterways. Okay. Get the soul enough for a dive. We're gonna go this way. I don't know if this is faster than going to the right, but I like doing the dive, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And we go say hi to Mr. Dung Defender. This fight, of course, not too bad. I wish it actually had the music when you did the scream skips, but the scream skips unfortunately just get rid of all the music in this fight.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate, because it's really good. I didn't get the scream skip.
Ah.
But I do get hit by... I've gotten hit by that, for some reason, Dung Defender... Oh, and I used all my soul. Dung Defender, when he staggers and wakes up from the stagger, he will slightly lean forward. Really? Okay. He slightly leans forward. And I've gotten hit by that on 1 health in a marathon run before, and yeah, it kind of hurts, especially because that was 2 white defender in Pantheon 4. Was it? Yeah. It kind of sucked. There we go. That's the fight done. A little bit scary, but not worried at all. Hey, y'all got enjoy the music. I shouldn't have healed there, actually. I forgot I shouldn't have healed there. Oops, that's fine. Say hi to you, get 2 hits of soul, and go back in. Very lucky that there's a very, very nice source of soul right outside this room. Alright. Can we say hi to White Defender, also known as Ogrim. Loyal Ogrim, I believe. And you see those enemies in the, you see those not enemies, but 5 characters in the back. The middle is the Pale King. In the middle is the Pale King, and you see the other 4 to the sides. From right to left, those are, and you might recognize these names from one single line of dialogue in the game. They are from the right to left, Mighty Hegemol, Kindly Isma, Fierce Draya, and Mysterious Zimmer. I believe there is one line of dialogue that mentions all 4 by name. I think it's really cool. And these 4 are the 4 that we will be seeing for the rest of this run. We will be visiting each one of them, and we'll be taking 30 minutes of our time to say hello to the 5 great Knights of Hallownest. And this is the main content of Pale Court. Is fights with each of these 4 bosses. First off, that is the Ogrim fight done. That is Loyal Ogrim down. And we don't have Dreamgate, so we can't skip this cutscene. This dialogue. We get 300 essence. We will not be using any of it because we don't have Dreamgate and we don't have any use for 300 essence. We unfortunately do not need that. We do not need that. I believe Hallownest Seal at 300. No, Hallownest Seal's at 100. I might be forgetting things. Okay. Either way, go down here. We do these skips. Very simple Isma skips. And we get Isma's Tear. But you see those dream particles? You see those dream particles coming out of the back of this tree vine thing. Filler, yeah, thank you. This is all custom content. None of this is in the base game. Welcome to Kindly Isma. Any of you that haven't seen Pale Court, this is where you start seeing what Pale Court is all about. Again, Pale Court has completely custom artwork, custom voicing, custom programming, new movesets for every boss, new music for every boss, and new dialogue, both through Dreamnail and through a few other methods as well. Completely custom, completely fan-made. And honestly, it doesn't feel fan-made. It feels very, very official. I've seen people, I don't know if you've seen this, Croissant. I've seen people saying that this could very well just be the 5th DLC to Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah, I've seen many people say that.
Mm-hmm. It's just amazing how well made a lot of this is.
Yeah. And it definitely has the looks for it, but it would need to be a little easier if it was in the base game.
Mm-hmm. This mod, if you haven't noticed, the content in it is pretty difficult. You are not supposed to be here with this equipment. I'm just a speedrunner, so we kind of just do this for fun. They could get more equipment. However, it is faster to not get equipment and simply do this with Nail Zero Shade Soul D-Dark and no Shriek. And you'll notice Isma is above us for a lot of this fight. It is much faster if you have access to Shriek. Or much nicer at least, especially this part. Just have to nail cancel and hit when Isma's hitbox gets a little bit taller. But yeah, that's first try. That's pretty nice. All right. And you see this dialogue after you beat the boss as well. That is all custom. And hey, I wrote that. I translated it. I get to say that, and I think that's really fun. Okay. So that is Kindly Isma. It gives us a charm, a direct upgrade to Defender's Crest called King's Honor. What this does, it's a direct upgrade. And if you want to talk a little bit more about that, Croissant, while I go enter the trial.
So King's Honor is a one-notch charm that upgrades Defender's Crest that makes your cloud white, and it'll latch onto enemies and spread like an infection. It'll have one enemy keep the cloud on it, and if it goes near another enemy, it'll latch the cloud onto another enemy and do a bunch of damage to all of them. And it's very strong.
It's very
Definitely
strong.
Too strong for a one notch, but we left it like that because no one wanted to downgrade Defender's Crest.
Yeah, having it be 2 notches is a little bit awkward, and as a side effect of it being 1 notch, it makes a very, very cool little thing where every single Pale Court charm is a different notch cost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because King's Honor is 1, Vessel's Lament is 2, Mark of Purity is 3, Boon of Hollowness is 4, and then Abyssal Bloom is 5.
That's funny.
There's one thing that speedrunners knew about this mod that playtesters didn't. Alright.
Very true.
As we say that, we are into Flower Quest. We do have to get the flower to the Trader Child's grave, and that is the one reason why we hit the lever earlier on. And you see how powerful King's Honor is. It does so much damage. You, Chasel, goodbye. You're in the way. And then go this way. Need to be a little bit careful, especially in this next room here. Hey, we have Defender's Crest but bigger. We're in Fog Canyon. You see where this could very quickly go wrong. You see where this could very quickly go wrong. The dive didn't come out quick enough. Alright. Go again. Not a big deal. And, I see in chat question, are you Nail Zero? Yes, this is a Nail Zero run all the way through. The only damage we have is King's Honor right now, and then Shade Soul, D-Dark, and Shaman. That is all the damage that we get for this run. Which makes specifically the Isma fight very, very difficult and kind of drawn out. But a lot of the rest of the fights are not actually too bad because none of them are really above you for very long periods of time except for Isma. Question in chat saying, why do you have that charm on for Flower Quest? We have one other thing that we have to do after Flower Quest, and it is much nicer if we have this charm on than if we do not. This charm is what makes a lot of the late combat in this mod much more bearable with low equipment. Because it's just that good. There we go. Let's get the Shade Soul out. And you saw that. That was 2 nail hits. That enemy, that, was it Slobbering Husk? I believe. Had, 20 health. And King's Honor just took all that away. That is how powerful it is. I really should not have this charm on, but honestly it's fine, and I'm just gonna keep it on for now. I think it's funny. Alright. We go over here. And yeah, we do have a little bit of time. So this mod, a lot of it is difficult content. Was all of it designed with like full equipment in mind? Yeah. It's yeah, a lot of difficult content. And I believe I've heard it is a lot of
Thank you, my Discord bugged out.
yeah. All good. Just wondering,
yeah,
was it all designed? Yeah.
All the bosses were designed with 112 equipment in mind. They were play tested mostly with just like the damage charms on. And then we had some testing with no charms. We decided that we would do the attuned health values would be tested with no charms, and the ascended health values would be tested with charms on. So players who want an extra challenge, who probably would know the bosses better and would probably use the charms anyway, would be actually challenged and wouldn't be a pushover.
And of course, the damage charms being Shaman Stone, Fragile slash Unbreakable Strength, and in this Abyssal Bloom. Abyssal Bloom, King's Honor.
The bosses didn't really. We didn't really balance the bosses around the like Pale Court charms much. We just used the base game charms because Pale Court charms we did test with the bosses, but they're very overpowered as is. So.
Yeah, they're very good charms. The entire lot of them, especially King's Honor and Abyssal Bloom, are just really, really good. And you can't really. And if you do stick to like the one notch, and if you want to have that damage on Abyssal Bloom and the range, you can't really balance that very well. Especially with Abyssal Bloom and overcharming being a thing. Alright. Here we go. Hopefully this time we don't get hit here. There we go, nice. C-dash. There's also a little charm that I really like. It sucks that it's not really usable because in this run because it's 4 notches. Boon of Hollowness, if you want to talk about that. I don't it hasn't shown up yet, but it has a really cool effect. And I really wish I could show it off. But it's
That's the
4 notches.
spell one, right?
Yes, it is the spell one.
Right, that is one that replaces all of your spells with pure vessel-like abilities. It gives your turns your Shade Soul into
I'm playing this safe.
daggers. Your Abyss Shriek into a bunch of the orbs that you see in his final phase, and the Descending Dark into his sword ground attack. Which is pretty cool.
It's really cool. I especially like it feels really good to use the dive because it just hits so much. It's not necessarily really, really good, but it's just fun to mess around with. Alright. And we finally get through QG. We finally get through to QG. Hopefully we don't get hit in the last 30 seconds of this. I think that would be somewhat unfortunate.
Yeah.
go. Over this way. And that, you saw the lever that was hit much earlier. And there we go. First try! Not an issue at all. Get to the Trader Child's grave. Give a little bow. We go head out. We do have one more thing that we have to do here before we head back to what we were doing previously. Again, this is very 1xx routing. We do Flower Quest and then go up to the upper part of QG. There's one thing we'd have to do. And we do have to go through this way and fight Trader Lord to get there. And here, our charms will be very helpful, especially King's Honor is going to be very strong here. Just because Trader Lord doesn't really move around too much, and we're kind of just up against him basically the entire time. There we go. That's that fight done. And we're going to head into this arena. A little bit of a tidbit before we head in. You can go left and up at the beginning of this arena. And if you do that, there's a little surprise. So if you want to check that out, definitely do that. I do not have the time for that. This is a speedrun, and we are going to head straight into the Fierce Draya fight. Draya is fast and has a lot of these agile nail attacks. A lot of them that you might recognize from one specific a Pure Vessel fight. You get a lot of these that they feel very much designed around the moves that Pure Vessel has. Do you know, Croissant, do you know whether they were designed with whether this boss was designed with that in mind? Or was it kind of just
definitely inspired by Pure Vessel. I believe the lore is that Draya was the main one to train Pure Vessel for his fighting skills, is what they went with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that would make sense. Because if the 5 Great Knights were the ones training Pure Vessel, then you see those triple slashes, those jump dives, those dashes, all those you see in the Pure Vessel fight, and by extension the Hollow Knight fight. Excuse me. A lot of inspirations. So now that we've done Flower Quest, we say hi to the Grey Mourner, and we leave the room, come back in, we ignore the Master Shard, and now we are into the mysterious Zemir fight. Ow. This fight's not too bad. It's a little bit short, and you kind of just... It's, I believe, the only fight in this mod. That's a lie, actually. It's the only Great Knight fight in the mod that does not have a phase 2. Oh. Because you saw, or phase changes. Because you saw Draya had a very obvious phase 2 where she started just doing rush attacks. And you also saw the same with Isma, who had the phase changes with the walls, as well as that final rush at the end. But yeah, Zemir is very simple. That is the end of the fight. Right. I love this fight because Zemir is spoilers. My favorite character in this mod. In this game, actually. In all of Hollow Knight, Zemir is my favorite character, and it may be influenced by this mod.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, the fight is interesting because a lot of the moveset is something that you wouldn't really find in Hollow Knight. Like the jumps, the jump slashes, things like that, or the shockwave. A lot of those moves you just don't see in the base game. And the lore reason for that is because Zimmer comes not from Hallownest, but from a far off land. So he just has different fighting tactics.
Yeah.
Right. And now we're into the final Great Knight fight. Of course, we had Ogrim, Isma, Draya, Zimmer, and now we have one last fight, and this is where that city crest that we got 5 minutes into the run comes into play. Almost an hour and a half later.
Love the music for this part.
You have the Mighty Hegemon fight. And you might recognize this armor. Of course, this is very much inspired. The moveset's somewhat inspired by the False Knight Fail Champion fights, but Hegemon is just faster because this is his armor. Ow. We're fine. Just take a quick heal. Take another quick heal. There we go. Now we have a little bit of health to work with. Oop. And with these dashes, you can very easily get a Shade Soul triple. So that's what we're going for damage. But sometimes he does not give you the ability to do that. And in which case, you just use a Resolve on dives. Like so. And that is the fight done. And you see this Dreamnail dialogue, by the way, which is also completely custom and completely translated to like 8 different languages. It's really cool. A lot of this mod is so well made. Like, you wouldn't believe that this is fan made. And it with the translations too. I'm just gonna gush about translations for a few minutes because I am just a professional game translator. Hi, if you have work, I'm open. With this mod, just translation for this is very hard to come by, just because it is a mod for a game, and it is not a really big team. And of course, this is all completely volunteer work. None of it is paid at all. This is completely a passion project that people wanted to make happen. And that's the only reason it exists, is because people were like, this is a cool idea. I want to help with this. And that is also the reason I started helping with it, is because I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. I want more people. I want more people to play this. And that is why I help with the Japanese translation and why I help with game translation. I'm getting off topic. Hey, we're heading into waterways. Oops. Yeah. Heading down into waterways. And of course, we have to go up this way. We could go get flukes, but it's a little bit out of the way and not really... I haven't really found a great use for it yet. Alright, ow. Could have done that all damageless, but then you decide no. Go down here, C-dash in, and say hi to the God Seeker. In chat, I see, is NG equals no glitches? NG equals new game. So we start from a fresh file as opposed... starting off a fresh file as opposed to starting off a complete 112 file like the mod recommends. Because, again, a lot of this content is very, very difficult and meant to be done after getting 112, after beating all the Pantheons, after completing the all the base game content. Because this mod is hard. Believe it or not. And hey, speaking of hard, we have a little boss fight. You remember Moloch? And you remember the little NPC that we talked to? Hey, this is the Tiso fight. I love this fight just in concept. Cause like, you wouldn't think a mod about the 5 Great Knights would have a Tiso fight, would you? But it does, and it's fun. Oop, there we go, okay. Ow. And just the concept of this, with Tiso having so many little contraptions in his shield here, it's just fun. Ow. It's a little bit difficult. But yeah, Tiso has a gun shield. Has a shield that can become a gun, it can become a parachute, it can become a boomerang. There's a lot of things. It can become a spike. He can call down bombs on your enemies. And yeah, just in concept, this fight is really, really cool. Are there fights in this mod that I like more? Absolutely. I just think it's fun. That Tiso of all characters gets a fight in this mod. And the music. We don't get to play the entire thing, but the music. The music. And this is the canon, non-canon reason why Tiso dies, is because he was fighting a Moloch and used the bombs from his shield to do all that damage, but then it misfires and it kind of explodes on himself. All right. And now it is time. It is time. Will you answer the champion's call? We will be answering the champion's call. This is the last content in this mod and the most difficult content in this mod. And you'll see very quickly why. We're starting off with White Defender. The White Defender fight. But this is Godhome. You all know what happens in Godhome. Welcome to the champion's call. First off, we have Loyal Ogrim and a tag team fight between Loyal Ogrim and Kindly Isma. And gosh, I love the music in this as well. There we go. And this fight is really cool because unlike in a lot of Soul-likes, the fights are kind of like, they're kind of just both there. This one is very like, what is it? It is a tag team fight, and I think that's really cool. Krasna, I know you mentioned that before as well.
Yeah, what I really like about this fight is how all of their moves are basically one move. Unlike in a lot of Souls-like games where they just, whenever they do a fight, they just kind of plop two bosses in one arena and hope it works.
But here, they're playing off each other's moves. You see Ogrim throwing those thong balls and then Isma catching them and throwing them back at you. And from the top and bottom at the same time. Isma attacks and does the attack from below, and at the same at the same time as soon as that attack ends. Oh, okay, sure. As soon as that attack ends, Ogurem is on you, coming out of the ground. You do not get a moment to rest in this fight, and I think it's really cool how well the tag teaming is done. And even the music is tag team. It's the White Defender theme, but with extra flutes and orchestration on top of it. And yeah, this is God Home content. Welcome to Champions Fall. This is basically a sixth pantheon, a little mini pantheon where you fight all five Great Knights in a row with no break, no heals in between. You do not get a bench, a rest area like you do in pantheons. It is all one shot, and each of these bosses are pure vessel or slightly lower levels of difficulty. This is not an easy challenge, and a lot of people that I know, people that are good at Hollow Knight, stopped playing after reaching this point, just because it's so difficult. Alright, that's Nduraya done, no damage. And now we're into Hegemol. This fight, again, we'll do 2 damage per hit. So you need to be very careful not to get hit here. One thing I was actually curious about, with Hegemol, was it known, or was it ever like tested, these Shade Soul doubles and whatnot that you can get on this fight? Because you can get Shade Soul triples if you time them well. Was that something that was ever play tested?
Yeah, I did that. I remember doing that when I was playtesting.
Nice. How much actually did this fight change between playtesting? Okay, we have some time to talk. How much did that fight, this fight, and how much did the mod in general change between playtesting?
Hegemol specifically, when I first joined the mod, he was like non-functional, barely moved. And then all I saw his moves over time all get added. One of the minor changes that I remember that you can still see is the rocks don't fall on the very sides on the wall because you can get trapped behind them whenever he corners you, and that was very annoying.
I see. Is that something that's in the original False Knight Fail Champ fights? That a safeguard on the side?
No.
No?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. I was like, in my 4 years of running this game, I do not remember hearing anything of a safeguard like that. Something completely custom to a QOL change, completely custom to Pale Court that doesn't exist in the original fights.
Well, something that changed about Yzma fight after the mod release actually was her acid attack. She used to not do her little backstep in the air. She used to just spurt the acid out.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, it's one of the, it was too hard to tell when she was doing it as opposed to Divine Fist. She shoots Divine downwards. And it's something I just got used to, but was difficult to know when it was happening. I didn't know until very late into the mod, I'm not sure if the mod came out or not, that her acid was actually dependent on where you were standing near her. I think I might have just muscle memory realized, but not actually realized.
It is homing on. It is, or the angle is based on where you are.
Yeah. There's a certain like cone that'll like trigger it, depending on where you're standing in relation.
Yeah.
And the Drya fight, she used to be a lot slower. She only threw 3 daggers that also shot out a lot slower.
now it's a lot faster of a fight, and the spread on the daggers is not quite, but much more akin to something like pure Vessel would have.
That like slash attack that she does, it spawns a bunch of beams in the air, also used to look a lot different and worked a lot different in general. It used to just be like 3 very thin, like light beams that spawned downwards, like have horizontal slashes or whatever. I was really surprised when that got implemented. It worked like pretty much perfectly right off the bat. Like you would expect something that worked that oddly would have to have gone through more bugs or testing or whatever, but it just worked.
It just kind of works. Sometimes you don't really have to test stuff very much. Sometimes it just works.
Yeah.
It just works in sometimes ways you don't expect. Again, with game translation, I've encountered that a couple times in testing.
There's actually the funny thing about TSO. I didn't know that there was going to be a TSO boss fight until like it got implemented like I think a month or so before release, and I was just like, what the heck is this? And it didn't really need much testing. You could see like Sayla got a lot better at coding and only needed a couple of tweaks here and there, but it was pretty much bugless.
Oh.
Which was awesome.
There we go. That is the Hegemon fight done, and we are into the last fight. This is Mysterious Zemer. God, it's just so pretty. Both the arena and like the music.
Oh, yeah.
And Zemer's like original overworld arena is the base for the layout here for this run. However, there's a little bit more to this fight. This is the final fight and the true final boss of Hollow Knight Pale Court. This is Mystic Zemer. This is nothing like anything you've seen in Hollow Knight. Completely custom, so many cool little quirks that you don't see anywhere else. These parries feel really good to do. A lot more fast-paced than the original fight. And you see these completely new custom moves. And the music, jeez. I love this. I love this mod. Pale Court's so cool.
Oh yeah. All the playtest, like most of the playtesting time went into this boss, as you can imagine.
I've heard this fight be compared to Millennia in Elden Ring quite a few times, and I see the resemblance. Ow. It's just such a different fight. Ow. Time is gonna be after we finish this fight, after we finish this fight, it's gonna fade to white, show a couple lines, and then it's gonna cut to black, and that is when time will be. Ow. Please, please, please. There we go. Finish it off with the parry. Time's coming up very soon. And we got told again, champion of the court, you are the vessel, you are the Hollow Knight, and that is time! Whew. Everyone, that was Hollow Knight Pale Court. 100% new game. Gosh, this mod is so cool. I'm so glad that I got to help with this and get to show it off here in front of everyone. And I'll let the credits roll as well. You're gonna see both of our names on here eventually. There's a few categories for it to go through. We got like music, we got writing, voice actors, and I believe the next one is translators. I just want to see the names because I think it's really cool seeing my own name and credits. I think it's fun. Oh my god, OMG, it's me. OMG, it's me at the very bottom. Thank you again
OMG.
to PlaceB for helping. It would not have been as good of a Japanese translator
Right.
without her. Oh my gosh, it's you, lead playtester. Gosh, okay. But yeah. Again, thank you all for watching. This is Hollow Knight Pale Court, 100% new game, and I hope you all enjoyed. And hey, unlike other runs where it's just play Hollow Knight, we get to chill. Everyone, play Pale Court. If you have Hollow Knight on Steam, Pale Court is available on the Lumafly mod installer. You just simply download a Lumafly, find Pale Court in the installer, and press install. Easy as that. And you can jump straight into the action. I do recommend making save backups just in case, and you can find out how to do that online. At the end here, Chrison, do you have any shoutouts, and where can people find you?
Shoutouts to Who Knows. Loved working with them on this. People can find me on Twitch as Croissant Benoit. Not super active, but is where people can find me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, thank you again for commentating. It was so much fun doing this run, and it wouldn't have been the same without someone helping. I get to say I got dev commentary for this. Yeah, and yeah, from me as well. Huge shout out and thanks to the Pale Court team for letting me on and helping with the mod. It's been a pleasure working with all of you, and then speedrunning our creation. And of course, again, to the wider Hollow Knight community, speedrun communities, both English and Japanese, you all are amazing, and you all should play this mod again. And of course, one last thing, now more than ever, hey, trans rights.